Wait, who's dropping the...
You don't like in a high car. 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 You don't like in a high.
Welcome to another episode of Cute Dog Locked in a Hot Car. I'm the host of Cute Dog Locked in a Hot Car, the cute dog, Jamal. Welcome. Today I got Monica. I used to date a girl named Monica, and it made me realize that I really like saying her name like Monica. Like I always be like Monica. And then that was a fun thing. Today I have Jason, homeless cop. Homeless cop out here, LA artist. That's his artwork right there. He's camouflaged. You can't see him, but he's here with us.
What's up? Yeah, my little green screen is going in and out. Are you seeing that, or is that just...
You're wearing a fucking camouflage. What the shit? You're like, I don't know how I'm blending in so well.
Really? That's what's doing it?
I want to say so. I do want to say so. I mean, it's cool. Like, you know, it's cool. Yeah, we can see you now. You're a person. There you go. Like, that comes
There
through.
you go.
I mean, we're going to figure out what you look like anyway. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Nobody cares if we can see you or not.
Hey, no, I mean, that's interesting that's what happens. Now we know. This is...
You know why you bought it? The camouflage.
You bought it so that I could just in this face mask era with some crazy thing on.
That's real. That's real.
You know?
All right, man. I want to make it really clear before we get even too deep. My goal is to make sure that you don't leave, like that you don't hate me and leave after this. Because you know me, I fucking have a lot of crazy shit that I want to talk about. Like I have a lot of crazy ideas.
I'm not scared.
I have shit I want to run by you. Yeah, because and the reason I wanted to have you on is because I love the conversations we have.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We have I love the conversations we have. So that's kind of how my podcast works, which is like, you know me, I have a good time and I have great conversations with people. So I love to bring that, you know, to a place that could be, you know, seen to others, right?
Fuck yeah.
So I know that you're just a guy, man. You do some tough shit out here. You know, we see you all the time. I see you all the time. Like you're the guy, you're finding guys talking like, hey man, that guy did some shit. We're going to go fucking whoop his ass. Right. I mean, I don't know. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, you know, street justice.
Yeah, exactly. I think of you as the Punisher, basically. You pay attention to all this shit that's going on out here. You know about like the fucking homelessness problem. You know, like that, you live downtown, like where I live. You know, like not where I live because I live in the trap. You live in you know in the area, and
in every city I've lived in, I've always donated time and money to help homeless people. In LA, honestly, it seems pretty hopeless. There's a lot of, you know, mental health issues that, you know, I walked into Skid Row on accident. When I first moved here, I was walking over to Super Chief and I was like, just looking at a map. And I was like, oh shit. It's my Eric Andre hat, Legalized Ranch.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm into it. Today I'm wearing What Could It Get Any Worse? What is the name of this movie? It's got Martin Lawrence in it. Have you ever seen this movie? What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Oh yeah, you're also one of those people who like when you say people randomly, he has them canceled. So like that's also like why I like to refer to people like you. Why is Martin Lawrence canceled?
Oh no, he's just made a lot of bad movies. And really, I don't know. I mean, you know, there was some things said about how he behaved on the set of Martin.
On the set of Martin show, yeah.
Towards Gina. in real life or something.
I heard they were beefing a lot. They couldn't film a lot of like the last season together.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I loved on that show when he was on he was security guard and he was on his knees.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, when he was acting with the little midget. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
fucked up, dude. Don't say that word.
You said it. I mean, I didn't say it.
Yeah, totally.
But,
I'm already canceled. Like I've actually been canceled all the time. Like I just say things.
Well, that's a cancel culture. It is a dual-edged sword. Sometimes you gotta have it, and then sometimes you gotta make sure it's not just somebody throwing something out there and then it sticks, and it's like that person's ruined.
That's really
Slippery
true.
slope.
I'm showing people on Instagram. That's really true. So that's why I fuck with you, because I like the nuance in your understanding. You get what I'm saying? Like I do want to talk about like that. Like basically, that's what I'm saying. Recently I don't want to go too far as to expose who they are. Let's just say I was really cool with this person, and I helped.
Oh, do I know who this person?
You don't. I don't think you do. But
Okay.
like where I go and like where like probably similar groups. But the thing is, okay, so this person, I was really cool with them, right? And I came to them for similar reasons as I come to you. I was like, is this wrong? Is this bad? Like, I'm like, I have this thought. Is this a bad thought? Like, like, I'm like, am I, whatever. Because that's something I want to get to too, which is like, dude, I woke up the other day just having a nightmare and I never did anything to anybody. Like, but I'm just like, oh shit, did I ever meet to anybody? Like, did ever a little bit, like, somehow, like, did somebody regret it? I'm like, oh shit. Like, so I woke up thinking about that, but that's not what I want to talk about first. What I'm saying is first, I was hanging out with somebody, basically they were telling me, hey, yeah, this person's bad, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And then I fucked around and got us kicked out of the bar because we were fucked up. And then I'm canceled, because they were like, you were acting erratic, you're portraying what black men aren't supposed to act like, you're bad, you did this, you're part of the problem. And I'm like, shit, I'm canceled now. Like one day later,
You got kicked out of the bar for just being loud?
Yeah, it was like, they tried to give me the COVID. They were like, oh, there's too many people at this table. I was like, there's the same amount of people at that table. They were like, well, you came last. I was like, all right. So I'll just go.
Yeah. Oh, then you shouldn't have let me in.
Exactly. I agree. It's like I was
Fuck
drunk
this
when
bar.
I got here. I was drunk when I got here.
No, that bar. What happened is that bar has been canceled now. You just canceled that bar.
All right, this is all right, now let's get into the fun.
You got to walk out like, and you're not going to get any more of my money. I'm going to spend any more of my money here.
That's literally what we're doing. That's all we can do is just boycott each other, team boycott. Just I know
boycott
this many
and
people
boycott. Yeah.
With this, yeah. Like I know this many people. That brings me to the next thing. Now let's get into the fucked up ideas, okay? I literally, this is the idea that made me want to have you on the pod, because I know that you are a big person who cares about how many fucking homeless people there are just annoyingly everywhere. You're like, damn, these fucking homeless people, like not the ones that are
it's sad. No, it's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, not the ones who are like humbly asking for change. The ones who are like shitting on themselves, like looking you in the eye, and they're like,
I think I'm always interested when I see that they're like drawing or writing something. Mm-hmm. I'm always just like, well, what is that? What that is? It's interesting.
My question is, have you ever thought of idea? I mean, because Suitcase Joe.
Oh yeah. Photographer takes great photos.
Exactly. He views the whole thing and pays attention to what's going on, and download the rest for seeing now. I don't know why my great aunt decides to get in my Instagram story. It's like, no, it's not for you. Anyway, what I'm saying is,
are you over 50?
Yeah, it's like,
get the fuck out.
This story isn't for you, because I was about to say something really fucked up. All right, I'm just figuring out how to pepper this on, but this is what popped into my head basically recently. Fuck, I don't know how to say this in public. It's really fucked up. Fuck. I was like, nah, you're gonna say it, and if the worst possible thing is that he'll leave, you'll look like the bad guy. It'll be fine. But now I'm like, do I even want to let people know that I got this dark in my head? I'm like, Fuck, I'm normally really open with how dark I was.
I mean, you're talking about homeless people, and then now you're gonna say something dark. I mean,
what I'm saying is, wouldn't the police force and wouldn't the government and wouldn't it's kind of like, you ever heard of broken windows? Fuck, it's kind of like broken windows. Fuck. I shouldn't have this. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like broken windows, and not broken windows from Fools Gone Wild, aka Pookie. Broken
right.
windows is like when basically the government would say that we're not gonna fix neighborhoods unless the windows are broken, like type shit, you know. And then people would go break the windows, so it'd be fucked up in the neighborhood. And I'm basically saying, can that not be applied to this, to the homeless situation? If you get what I'm saying, like if there
No,
were more,
I mean, there has to be a dude. You just got to take the Pentagon budget and take some money off of that, and then it just has to go towards. First of all, you know, Ronald Reagan let a lot of people out in the 80s, a lot of like people out of insane asylums. It just opened them out. So that's a large part of the homeless.
all right. Well, all right. Let me just
So
say,
basically, there needs to be money put into helping people that are like seriously fucked up, and then helping people with just so many fucking programs to help them. But also on the police side, like police don't want to deal with mentally ill people. I mean, they just rather shoot them. So there should be like a police force that's basically only deals with mental illness.
or
Right there, you know, right
or
there, like they still have guns, but they're not really like, they're almost like, you know, maybe non-lethal stuff, and they're trained to like, let's talk this out, buddy, instead of like, get the fuck
Jason,
out on the ground.
what if there was a, how do you say, bum fight provocateur?
It's a terrible idea, man. I mean, if you're trying to, you know, exploit homeless people,
No,
you know,
it wouldn't be exploiting them. It would be the point where my point would be, right now, homeless people downtown are really friendly. They're actually really peaceful, to be honest. They're really peaceful, friendly people. That's completely honest. But the truth is, what if you
we might see
rile them
different
up?
ones, you know?
Yeah, what if, exactly, but that's the truth. The truth is they never want to fight me, and I don't look that tough, man. You know, I have glasses. It's like the bums never want to fight me, and I'm like, and I'll just be like, man, I'm not in the mood to fight, but I can go this, I'm gonna fuck you up, man, get away from me. And they're always like, all right, man, all right. And I'm like, I was not planning on fighting you, buddy. You're good. What am I gonna roll around the ground with your fucking dirty ass?
You know, a lot of times they just
So,
recognize that you're being assertive, like you're just like, hey man, I don't want to, you know,
yeah, but
if
my
you're just
point
like,
is,
if you're really
what if we
timid
just
and
put on costumes and pretended we were bums, went downtown all the time and got locked up? It's like basically it would make the government pay more attention to it and fix it faster, wouldn't it? That's kind of my thought process
but see, here's the thing, like in a pandemic, you know,
exactly.
you're just basically asking to get locked up with the Rona, and then
yeah,
there's no social distancing there. Yeah, I mean, now I'm going to be naive, but you know, I was shocked to hear recently, and I don't know if it was California. I was watching some TV show about and it was Netflix, about some dude getting out of jail, and he was like, he went to this house and the AC came on. He's like, man, air conditioning. Haven't had that for 30 years. I was like, damn, they don't have air conditioning in jail. I
man.
would have
And
just
the fucked up thing, yeah, man, that it is. I've been in LA County for sure. That's a crazy place. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember if there was.
Did you have to?
There was air conditioning in some places. Let's say that.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't like
Because the
it wasn't
staff has to work there too. Yeah,
it wasn't comfortable. Yeah, that's for goddamn sure. Like I remember the first 2 days, it's like you're sleeping on a metal bench, you know, because they're processing you in. Like no matter when you get locked up, it's like the first day or the first 2 days, you're fucking sleeping on metal. It's annoying.
I spent my 16th birthday in a juvenile detention facility for driving a car around, my friend's dad's car around, while they shot firework bombs out of the car, and caught 6 houses on fire.
What the fuck? What the fuck? That's a crazy twist.
Had 6 counts of first-degree arson, but I had a family lawyer get 5 of them dropped, and then they were like, you can either go to the country club criminal home, or you can go to this for like a year. And if the smartest kids per cabin get to go to a public school, and if you're good, you get to go home on the weekends. Or you can go to this place you could get out as soon as 3 months, but you're gonna be fighting for your life every day with like real gangsters and shit. I was like, oh, I'll go do the country club one, which had some very serious gangsters in it too. But it was like,
I would have done 5 months.
Nah, dog. You wouldn't have.
What? And you did? How long did you do in the nicer one?
11 months, and I went to the public school. So like me and my boy Sly in our B cabin we got picked up by the bus, went to Parkway North, came back. We were both good, so we got to go home on the weekends. And then they'd be like, if you were good, they'd take you out in this van. You could go to Taco Bell, get some snacks at the store. So it was like camp. It was like this
great.
really
I've never heard this before.
Yeah, it was like this long, like kind of camp. And I was a little juvenile delinquent at the time, so maybe it straightened me out to some degree. But dude, there were some kids in there that were fucked. But now, when I was locked up in the juvenile, that was like the first 4 weeks in the juvenile place. That was crazy. That was like straight up. I had to square up with it, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep it real because you're keeping it real, dude. I did 40 days. I think it was 40 or 41 days. And
how old are you?
Fucking 25. This was like 5 years ago. This is like 6 years
shit.
ago. This was like because I was just robbing people because I was bored. I told you about this before. Like basically I just went through a phase where I was breaking up with a girl and I was butthurt and I was just like, I just basically was lashing out so I could.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
What part of town was this in?
Downtown. Like
Shit.
fucking I'm a gangster. I was dude. I was on.
So downtown I've been here almost 5 years.
I don't want to make.
So you stopped right before I moved downtown.
Dude, I've lived here for 10 years. So basically,
Damn.
Like I said, I lived in
I'm glad you got locked up so that straightened you out so you didn't rob me.
Like I said, it wasn't like it wasn't like a career thing of like basically career always have been like taking stuff, like maybe I'll take stuff from like a grocery store, but I've never been like, oh, I'm gonna rob people. But then I was just like, oh, I'm butthurt about this girl and nobody's gonna care.
So you were robbing people that looked like they had a purse or that they had money?
No, you asked me this last time. You asked me this last time because you're.
I don't remember.
Because you're a fucking because you're
a lot of weed.
No, because you're looking for girl touchers to beat up. Like you're looking
No. I wondered how the mind of a criminal how it works when you were like.
I already told you. I don't want to. Exactly, you're making it rude. I don't want to say this part publicly, but I am. But it's like I was taking from people that were male and younger and did not speak the same language. Remember, that's what I said. Because I was trying to be unidentifiable. You get what I'm saying? So
you were looking for Yeezys and stuff.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to be like. I'm not trying to make it racist. Basically, like I wasn't looking for like a certain race or anything. I was just like, oh, who can not identify me the best?
I would just wonder, like, if you were the type of person that robbed someone, if you would be like, there has to be something about.
Look, I said all this
body.
To say I did one fight in jail the whole time. It was cool. It was just like, oh man, this guy did some fuck shit, man. You gotta fight him, or else you're gonna be everybody's bitch or something. I was just,
right, so you got there, they told you about a dude. And
no. A dude did some shit to me. Like, dude is like, it's like hard to explain because it's like you're really lonely, So like, dude's like, oh, I'm your friend, man. And you're like, everybody became my friend because of who I am, That was what was fun. It was like everyone's like, hey man, I'll be Urkel's friend. Urkel's cool. Urkel. That's my name, Urkel.
You had the round glasses?
Yeah, no, I had the big squares. I had some big old square guys,
right.
You know me. So I was like, so basically, and I had like my dreadlocks and shit too, though. But like the point is, everybody, I'm politicking, dude. Basically, I let him use some of my phone time. He took a bunch of it, and I just told one of the OGs. They were like, yeah, you got to fight him. You can't just, you can't shoot.
Dude, have you seen that show called 60 Days In?
What's 60 Days In?
It's cable show. It's been on 3 or 4 years. It's a different location. So I think the first season was Indiana. I think the last one I saw was Arizona. And they go into jail and they put cameras everywhere. And they tell the inmates, we're doing a story on like inmate life. And then they send in men and women, people that volunteer to go into jail for 60 days. And they have a backstory. And at the
Dude, that sounds terrible. Around 25 days, you're just like, I really cracked. I was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to be here forever. Because I didn't have like a certain date to leave. They were just kind of like, oh, we're either going to give you time served or not on your shit coming up. And they were just like, oh, you're just a dumbass kid. Like, get leave. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
but I was scared because they could have basically.
That's what they do to.
Yeah, they could have kept me for a year.
People that rob people, they're
they
kind
could have kept me for a year, dude. Like they
it's that psychological torture, dude. That's kind of what you get.
But
no, this show is people ask for it.
Look, really quick. It got reduced. Like basically I came in on like with the fighting guys, and then like by like halfway through I went to like the low scam guys, like, and it was just credit. It was so cool. It was like so cool. Like credit, like basically they were all rich. We were all making just concoctions and food all the time. It was crazy. It was a great experience. That's what I told you last time. It was a great experience. I recommend anybody do 30 days. 30 days is so fun. It's putting
like ramen noodles and chips and shit together.
It's so fun. It's like a vibe. Like you're like, all right, what we're gonna do tonight? And playing gambling with everybody and just being like, all right, like fucking, it's crazy. It's just like.
Well, yeah. Speaking of crazy, there was a guy in my high school who used to pick on this other kid, and I had to go to some like summer class thing with some other it was like a bad kid plus I had bad grades at the time. So I learned about this kid, Alan, was getting picked on by this guy, David Barnett, and his friends. And it's just like, hey, man, you're going to stop picking on this kid. And then kind of just heard, oh, David Barnett's talking shit. And I went up to him and I was like, I'll beat your ass, dude. And I just kind of like punked him out in front of a bunch of people at school. And then he never did anything. And I heard stories about him, whatever. One day, came out of school, so he got his ass beat in front of everyone at school. Like, I think about a year or two after high school, he shows up on the news in shackles. He had stabbed both his grandparents to death with like 15 different kitchen knives. And he was like smiling and shit. And it was like, oh shit, that crazy motherfucker. He's on a Netflix series about people who killed. And then they get into each guy and his story, and I was like, "Oh shit, David Barnett!"
Like the guy, yeah.
And then they go and they talk about. I mean, they interview all these other people from high school. All these people have aged terribly. They all still live there in St. Louis. And man, this motherfucker had really bad. Like he had a fucked up life, and then he was in a foster.
Yeah, you don't just wake up and do that. There's got to be.
That was fucked. Yeah, dude. Like this guy had some dark shit, and then the guy that was his foster dad was like molesting him and beating him, and then I think his parents lived next door. The molester guy, and he went over there. Now he says in the Netflix thing, he's like, "Oh, I went over there to tell them what he did," and they were like, "We don't care." And then I just blanked out, and then I woke up, and it was like, oh, look what I did. So it gets kind of iffy. I don't know if I really believe his story. He kind of seemed shifty when he said that part, so I don't know. But I heard that he got a bunch of crack fronted to him, couldn't come up with the money. They were coming after him. He's robbing their house. They come home from church. He stabs them with all these kitchen knives and shit. And it was like, well, he's never getting out. Well, it turns out the state, like, public defender he had at the time wasn't allowed to introduce his horrible childhood into evidence. And then, so instead of, like, life without parole, they just gave him, like, life. And now there's a possibility he could get out someday. And at the end, he's like, I'm pretty confident I'm going to get out someday. Or I'll be out someday. And it just is like, what? But yeah, he has a kid. I didn't know he had a kid.
All right, that's why I always ask you. That's why I always ask you, like, what would you do to that guy? if you like, what I mean.
Well, if I would, I was just a skinny kid. You
I
know,
mean,
I would have fucked him up.
today. Yeah,
Oh,
today, because like you always tell me, that's what I'm saying.
I would whoop his ass so bad, dude.
Dude,
Really,
what the
you
fuck?
like to kill,
Dude.
you like to kill old people.
Honestly, man,
Work 'em.
really quick. Rest in peace, Dijon. There's a guy named Dijon who just died like yesterday or 2 days ago. He was just at a protest, and then like right around like on Crenshaw. And like the reason I found out is because like artists we know, like some artist was there, some like art girl was, like art people were there, and then this guy died. So that's kind of why I don't go to protests, because I just don't want to see one of my friends die like right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying?
I think
So,
going to like daytime ones are good because, that's like cops are really well behaved during the day. At night, they're like, you probably won't.
what do you think about the kid who killed the white people?
The kid who killed the white people? Which one?
Killed the white BLM guys. The white kid.
Oh, the
had
Kenosha?
A legal gun. Yeah.
Yeah, the 17-year-old bootlicker who had his mom drive him from some shit town in Illinois over to Wisconsin, where he doesn't live, to protect property that's not his, with a gun he shouldn't have. He fired it like into the air and at some people way before he started running down the street. He started running down the street. Everyone sees the video where he's being chased. People were like, this motherfucker's shooting at people. And then when he trips and falls, people are like, let's disarm this dude. And it's a shame that dude with the skateboard couldn't just get the job done, because there'd be, 2 people would be alive right now. And that other guy got his arm blown off, and he had a gun in his hand. So like, it's crazy. Who knows if he should have that gun too?
Dude,
I mean, like,
today
it's crazy.
Today at work, there was some crazy white dude outside, and he was screaming at the cops, and like literally screaming at them. Like, and do you know where I work? I work like right next to fucking comedy store.
Oh, nice.
So it's like not in the hood, it's not, you know what I'm saying, in a bad place. It's in like
Hollywood Hills.
Sunset Strip. Yeah, it's like literally Hollywood Hills. And there's like a bum, and like and then the cops just kind of like, they talked to him for a second, and then they left, and then he was still there. You hear that?
Yeah.
And then they left, and he was still there. I mean, whatever, they're coming for me. But then he was still there. And then I was just like, I can't even go talk to him about it, because they'll just shoot me, So fuck, dude. What?
Yeah, dude. There's definitely more people in LA with mental illness than anywhere else in the country. There has to be. Dude, there just has to be. There's people that just come here. Like, you read stories about people that come here with $800 and then they end up homeless. It's like, or just down and out. It's like, dude, you should save more money than you've ever saved in your whole life if you want to come to California.
Yeah,
shit
man.
is expensive.
Some bum literally was telling me yesterday, he was on the bus, and he was like, this is the worst place I ever lived. And I was like, and then I didn't want to, I felt like a fucking terrible person, because
Where did he live? I want to know where you lived before.
No, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you the full story. I'm wearing a shirt that says Trinidad and Tobago, and he says something along the lines of, oh, I bet it's nice there. This is the worst place I ever lived. I lived in Minneapolis or some shit. And I was just like, I don't want to say go home. I don't want to say that cliche thing that people say to everybody, to be a dick to them.
Well, what's great about LA is that the coolest, we get some of the best people from all of the states come here, and then, man, the smartest ones, make it, and they're interesting. But man, we also get people that are,
Well, what do you think about the topic? That topic. Now that we think about it, do you think LA is ever going to reopen? Do you think everything's going to come back? Is Super Chief Gallery coming back? Do you know about them?
I think they are just looking for a new spot. Yeah, I honestly, man, I mean, prices are really going down all over. So like,
Yeah,
there's
I'm shopping
places.
for a fucking store.
Yeah, I mean, there's places downtown that are $400 or $500 less per month than they
Oh
were.
yeah.
And then there's also like in the burbs or just places in Long Beach that are looking at maybe moving to Long Beach or Pasadena or
What do you think the
something.
rent on round 2 is? What if
Well,
it's still
no, I
round
mean,
2?
I think there'll be a vaccine by next summer.
No,
I think
the rent on the store called round 2 on Melrose.
No idea.
You know what I'm
I mean,
talking about?
I mean, a lot of those stores on Melrose, I'm not too up on it, but I know, a lot of them got fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them are back.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not back. So what if I just bought some famous store?
So
would it be
so none of those stores are back?
well, round 2's not back. That's like the most famous one.
But like I went over to
oh yeah, and neither is
Santa Monica. I went to Santa Monica, the Promenade, because there's a bunch of good shoe stores over there. All those same places I saw that were looted are back open now.
Yeah,
It's like it never happened.
Yeah, all the chain stores are back. All the chain stores are back. But I'm talking about like all the CVS's and shit and all the chains are back. But all the like
but those small
stores,
business guys,
yeah, those stores are gone. So I could just buy a famous clothing staple. And then everybody's like, hey, dude, you're not fucking the guys. But I'll be like, I'm the new guys.
I mean,
they're already doing it with the clubs.
Your rent is going to be, 15 or 20,000 a month or something. I mean,
15,000 a month.
Dude, I mean, if you're buying a storefront and
yeah.
you're gonna have the lights on and you're gonna pay somebody to look after it and get insurance and an alarm and stuff, yeah, it's gonna be 15,000, 20,000.
Hey man, that makes.
But it's kind of like, I do like downtown a lot. I like my building less and less, but I like downtown. It's almost like between now and spring, as prices go down, it could be a good opportunity to get a better spot for cheaper. And then when everything comes back and the prices go up, you'd be like, oh, I can make a profit. But there's also, maybe it takes longer. Maybe it takes a year for downtown to come back. So it's like, could go. I mean, my lease is up in November, so I'm not sure if I'm probably gonna move somewhere else.
Basically, do you know a bunch of people who are moving out?
No, not really. I mean, it sucks. What happened to Super Chief sucks. I mean, an explosion next door from some propane people trying to do whatever propane bullshit.
What were they
blew
doing?
it up. They were making like vape cartridges or doing something, whatever you do with propane, and it just blew up. Dude, my friend was there in Super Chief when it happened. He said the whole wall like bubbled out. It was like they were like, "Oh shit, let's get out of here."
Was people okay in the fucking other place?
A couple of people died. I think a guy lost an arm.
People died. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just like, "Well, we lost our little fucking place." It was like, "What the fucking 3 people? They're fucking dead."
Guy doing some bullshit with propane. I think like one guy died and one guy lost an arm.
Jesus.
And then since it's next door to Super Chief and it's all one big building, they were like, this building's condemned. So like everybody had to get out. And a friend of mine went back there just to like take some photos and shit. And there was like a bunch of homeless people living in there because like the door wasn't locked. So
did they steal the art?
No, all the art's gone.
No.
They got all that out of there, but
not the shit on the wall that exploded.
It was crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, My friend had like PTSD for a while, man, just hearing that and seeing the wall do that. And then just, it was like for a couple of seconds, I was like, just looking at the ceiling, like, oh shit, it's just going to cave in on my head. So it was like, we have to get all this shit and get out of here. But it felt like it could fall over at any minute.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's sad, kind of sad. But yeah, no, I like downtown, but there is,
Is there a,
there's a lot of homeless people down here.
what do you, I mean, like, I don't know how to, like, I don't want to ever, like, demonize them, because I want to make it clear there's some really cool homeless people, actually. This
Sure.
dude showed
Yeah.
me this fucking, this dude showed me this picture he did of, like, what an alien UFO probably looks like on the inside. I swear to God, I was like, this is
Dude,
crazy.
There
You're
was, I think,
crazy.
Suitcase Joe or somebody had some story about some guy that is known on Skid Row. He does like electronic stuff to bikes and does all this like fucking
Oh,
crazy
dude, that's
shit.
a good way to describe it. They just move their hands real fast. They're like,
Yeah, I mean, the guy, like, I think he was like showing like inventions he made. It was some video. It was crazy. It was like, this guy's cool as fuck. I mean, I'd watch a TV show about what that guy does.
yeah, exactly. No, they have, they make bikes out of, and shit out of, you're right. They make weird stuff. But also they have, like, they keep it clean and like in their areas and shit. Like, some people don't have
Well, it's sad too, man. Gangs prey on a lot of homeless people, have them
that's what I'm
do
trying to
stuff.
say. It's like, basically, people are preying on them to sell them drugs. People are preying on them to
Prostitution. Yeah.
prostitute them bad ways and stuff. All I'm saying is, why doesn't anybody prey on them and make it better for them in ways like, hey, make attention for us. We can't go vote and shit for our things.
I mean,
we don't even know when a vote's gonna happen. We ain't got cell phones. We bums, man. We out here chilling.
well, it's crazy. Like I'm always amazed at how many phones homeless people do have.
Yeah, they do have a lot of phones, actually.
Or they're looking at, it's like, what are you looking at? But they have phones, which is great. But I just feel like, dude, some like Starbucks or Amazon, some huge company really just has to be like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Like, there's a lot of people that don't want help. But if they built some sort of like facility and then these green Starbucks buses drove around and you could get on them, and then the whole thing is just like, we're going to fucking shower you off or take you somewhere and like give you a haircut, shower you off, get you some
you know what
meds,
that would
then,
do? You know what that would do? That would make the bums leave LA, and that's okay. But at least they wouldn't stay and do that, because no bum like wants to do a uniform
no,
thing.
I mean, what they
But
do
would
is they
leave.
take,
They'd be like, nah, fuck, we're not gonna do it. And then there'd be like 10% of the bums that there is now. They'd all just disperse through the world.
No, I think that you take people, you get them help, you give them job training, whatever, and then you give them a one-way ticket wherever they want to go. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You think that, like, you think they want?
They don't all want to come back here. A lot of them probably are like, shit, I'm from Iowa. How the fuck am I gonna get back there?
Yeah, dude, I think about it all the time though. I'm always like, I'm working to stop working, basically. And the only thing that's keeping me from being a bum is like, if you get sweaty, you'll start being itchy. I don't want to be itchy and sweaty. Like, I don't want to be that dirty where I start itching. But the point is, like, it's like, if I could just chill and not actually worry about having to be indoor, and it gets cold outside and shit, you need shelter and shit. So it's like, God, you got to go to fucking do something to get some shelter. But the truth is, the alternative of that is being a bum. And that's the only good side about being a bum, is like, I'm not going to go do what they tell me to do. So there's no way for you to be like, hey, dude, who's literally wearing shoes that.
Well, I don't know about that. You are going to do what they tell you to do when they say, sir, get out of our lobby. Like, if you have.
Dude, there is some dudes who are like trees, man. There's some dudes who are just like trees. They just sit in a corner. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're just like, they're like trees. They're like, hello, I'm Timothy. They look like cement, and it's just like, hey man, I'm fucking out here, and I'm just always been out here for a while.
There's probably, 1 out of 1,000 people that's homeless that really likes it and just like, I don't like anyone telling me what to do. But, like, you are going to be told what to do when you're told. There's all these places you can't visit or stand around because you know, like you think you have freedom, you don't really have freedom. Freedom, if you had your shit together, you don't have to leer at people eating food. You can go in there and eat food yourself. And then, so I mean, yeah, dude, it's you know, it's sad. I would love to just be a billionaire and just peel off money to people that are poor and just be like, let's see, you know, I'll see you in a year if you have your shit together. You know, just
yeah,
sometimes
that, I
gonna
mean,
work
you're right, because there's a percentage of people who I guess it would be good for them. You know, they would be like, you know, they would actually, a year later, their life would be way better. It'd be the shit. I'm just saying I think that there's like at least a 60% or 65% people that would just be in the exact same situation in like 2 days.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
like,
you have to really just
because
separate
they're
the
just like,
craziest ones and just go, they're beyond reasoning right now. So they need a help I can't provide with money. But then there's people that, you know, that they're not in that pool. The rest of them, I feel like if you gave them money and you're like, here's the keys to an apartment building right there, you have a year's worth of free rent. So you could go get a job. You keep all the money and just stack them. I'll pay the lights. I'll pay the water bill, all that shit, cable. But it's
okay, look,
if somebody was like, oh, I can get ahead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
I got
you know,
one more idea to throw on top of this really quickly. It makes a lot. It adds to this.
Okay.
If you were to, what if you made your system of cleaning them up, you know, getting them on this bus that, you know, it's not necessarily your system, just a system that works. You know what I'm saying? A good system that works. Wouldn't that make if I was a bum in San Francisco and I found out that LA had a really good system that works, wouldn't I just figure out how to get to LA so I could try to get a part of that system? And then wouldn't that make it to be where LA would just be a city with like, oh, they just got a really good bum system, and then actually nobody would want to hang out here, you know? Would that make sense too?
Yeah, like is your system so good it attracts other
Yeah, like,
like
you know,
people in San Francisco are like, let's give these bums a one-way ticket to LA.
LA's got that good system. They got housing for them. They got buses that take them right to
No,
this place.
it's just it has to be, whether it's the federal government or a huge corporation, there has to be somebody with deep pockets
Enough to
that can
go
just
every
like
city.
medicate people, that can like job training, that can
But
like
it'd have to be
house
multiple
them.
cities. So it'd have to be
It would have to be a
federal.
network all over the country, and then you need to just have like buses. I feel like a good business idea that I've had is you take an old ambulance and then you just take everything out of it and you put like that sheet metal stuff on the inside, like the metal's got the little rivets in it, and you just put metal, like that shiny shit, and then you have like a chair you could strap someone down to, and then you take the roof off of it, and then you have like a power washer, like a pressure washer.
Oh,
and
fuck.
Then you're just like, for the craziest ones that no cop wants to put in their car, nobody in the nice ambulance wants to put.
Thank God you got
just
here.
Take this person, like, all right, sir, come with us. Blah, blah, they're going, okay, strap them down, hose him the fuck off, and then take him where he can go get some help. And then when he gets out of the chair, you hose down the whole room. You're standing on top of the ambulance. You just hose the whole thing off. Get the next one, and then you just keep taking people no one wants, putting them in there.
Because dude, that's what's fucked up, dude. The other day, man, I was here. I had some family come in from out of town, and a bum tried to fight me. Like, we were getting out of the car, and he was just like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Walk it." I'm just like, man, what the like? Are you? I'm with my family.
Right out,
seen these people
out
in
front
like
your place.
No, fucking in Koreatown, like far as fuck away. Like, you know, we're just like, and just that's how LA is, though, bro. There's bums hard in nice places right now. You know, there's a lot of bums.
Anywhere a train goes, they're gonna pop on that train.
Kinda, bro, because it's really anywhere even a bus goes. Cause this shit is serious, dude. They're like every corner that's like a corner where you know, it's not a corner anymore. It's like you know, like an alleyway. Like, say you used to, you know, like Melrose has a good alleyway where you can go down the back alley the whole time. other streets used to have that. They don't have any alleyways anymore. It's just like there's like you look down and you're like like ooh, there's a big pile of something right there. Something, it's weird. It's
Yeah,
like
dude. Yeah, it's like a
so
little
that's
dark street.
honestly, bro, I'm about LA, bro. I'm about LA, and I'm saying I hate to say it, bro. I'm saying my plan would be to pack them up and send them somewhere else, and then give that city money from our money because we make more money than them.
It's
So be
true. We
like,
do
give you a
make
little,
more than you.
yeah, be like, we give you guys a little bit of money. We're gonna ship you, so we're gonna ship these guys, give them a building.
Well, that happens now to Sacramento. I think we send a lot of people to Sacramento, but no, it's got to be. I mean,
because it's like I said, if I bum, I'm not saying bumming is a choice. I'm saying if I'm bumming, it's a choice. Then it's like because you saw me, I can just go to. I didn't tell you, I made like two grand in like a week, and then I was like, I should get in trouble for this. I don't even want to tell. Like I don't want to overly tell you the exact scenario of me getting in trouble, but it was because I chose to. I promise. Like I've told you it before, but I'll tell you it again later. But it was like at some point I was like, all right, I want to get in trouble. And that's the same thing about bumming. When I came out, I was like, when I was in jail, I was like, okay, well, even if I leave, I don't really care what happens to me. Like I don't even care because I was just like, because you know me, man. It's hard to explain. But I
yeah,
figured it out, and I was like, all right, I got out of it. That was crazy, man. Great experience. All right, but my thing is this: there's like less people coming down here giving them stuff and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like there's less people fucking with
Oh
them.
yeah,
So there's like becoming a divide again, like a
yeah.
a
Because of
divide.
the pandemic, I mean, there's less. There's people that uh, have a family and a job who need those same uh, groceries that are like 2 days away from expiring. Usually, homeless people used to get. Now there's people in cars lining up to food banks getting that same shit.
Damn.
I mean, there's just like, yeah, and then churches too, man. Churches probably aren't getting their money because they're not. It can't pass the communion plate around so much with no one in there.
And
So
are churches even meeting?
I mean, dude, I just in California, there's all kinds of wacky church people here that are doing it anyway and getting people sick and getting in trouble. It happens, dude. I mean, it's the silver lining to a pandemic like this is that there's going to be a lot of stupid people that just die. People that are like, and I've read stories about it, and they're great, where someone's like online rant, masks are dumb, this shit is a hoax, and then they get it and they die. It's like these are just people are going to learn some lessons. Darwin, when people are going to die, you don't think it's real, then you die. There was some church somewhere that just like got 100 and whatever many people, like 100 something people got sick because they had church one day. It's like, all right, I'm
Man.
Missouri. Missouri has one of the highest cases in the.
Oh, I
Dude,
can't.
for seeing all the racist shit from people that live in Missouri, I hope a lot of them get it and die, and then that's the calling.
There we go.
Much,
There we go. We're
it's just
finding
like
it now.
some of the people. I can only hope the people I saw making racist statements or bootlicking Trump statements don't think it's real. Go get it and die then. And then these people aren't around, and then people were like, "Oh man, my uncle was such a dick. Now he's dead. Don't
Dude,
be like him."
what do you think's gonna happen in the election? Like, how are we even gonna vote?
I think. Well, I already voted early
You
by
already
mail.
voted? Oh, Kanye.
What a fool!
Birthday
What a
party?
goddamn fool!
Why is he?
Dude, you saw Kanye's press conference where he broke down crying and
I
freaking out.
watched every second of it.
I
If you didn't
watched
watch
every second of it too.
then
I watched
if you didn't
every
watch
second of it too.
then I wouldn't. He made some pretty crazy points. And
Harriet Tubman, huh? Harriet Tubman, huh?
That's really what you got from that, though. Is that really what you got from that, or did you hear the part about like getting money for making kids? That was crazy, and that was awesome. I'd love to. I want a kid, and I'm scared because I don't have money for it. I swear to God, I want to go make a kid right now.
I mean, a kid costs conservatively through his lifetime $400,000. So
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, that guy is unfit to do a lot of things. He's a talented guy. I hope he gets help for his problems, but no, he should never be president of anything. Trump is the most incompetent and corrupt president in my lifetime, dude. He's a real sick fuck. And the wave of women that happened in 2018, it's coming, dude. People are tired of this shit, dude. We know he's a racist. We can't have.
I'm not worried about racism. That's like, that doesn't, I don't know. It's kind of like I'm mad desensitized to that. Why don't you tell me about things he did bad with women's, and more so, actually, tell me things he did bad about the country too, because that's important. Because racism, like, who's not racist? Like, all old people are racist. Like, I don't know.
Here's what I'm talking about, man. When you have a guy who incites racism, like his base is 30%, maybe 40% of the country.
All right, keeping it real.
Of those people, when you think about like KKK members, people that are online in like hate groups and stuff, those are his people. And he says things to them that people say, oh, that's a dog whistle. This is the kind of shit they used to do in the 60s, man. He's a sick fuck, dude. And it's kind of like,
right. You're
okay,
totally
it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. This whole experiment has to stop, because if it's 4 more, holy shit, dude. I can't imagine. I mean, this country is less like America than it ever has been. And when he got elected, I was like, well, this, of course he would get elected in this fucking horrible, like this country voted, I think 65 million people voted for American Idol or something one year. And it's like, of course, some like reality TV guy.
How does 65 million people vote? Oh, I get it. There's a lot of millions in the billion.
Yeah, but their parents were paying that 1-800 number, charge. I mean, it's like, of course we would elect some jackass like that, but then, and I never voted for him.
I mean, honestly, I could tell you a bunch of bad
that
stuff
shit
he's done too, honestly, because I agree.
But it's,
I guess my question is like, why do we not just? But like, what is it? How's it? Like, what I'm saying is that I'm not gonna like hold all the things the guy said against him, even because that's basically because my point is this. My point is that old people are racist, and Joe Biden said that if we don't vote for him, we're not black. So it's like,
I'll tell you, Joe Biden.
Like, what I'm saying is that it's easy to say racist stuff if you're old. Like, it's easy too. It's like easy.
I think Joe Biden's like a quirky. Joe Biden's like a quirky guy, but you go back 40 years.
Wait, define quirky.
I mean, he's just kind of like, he'll say something.
Yeah, my grandma's quirky stupid. When she says that the lady at the store was like this. My grandma's real quirky, but that's also she's my grandma's never done that. Rest her soul.
You go look up how 40 or 50 years ago Joe Biden was going to these NAACP events and he knew everyone's name. And years later,
hey, what's up, Jimbo? A Jackson? A Rico?
When
Marquez?
When Barack Obama was like, "This is going to be my guy," all these people were like, "This dude has been looking out for us for all these years." So he had, like, I mean, he has a South, like that guy, like, first of all, I mean, he served in the army, and there was an article. There was an article.
You can convince me that he's the lesser, but you can't convince me he's the great choice. Like, all right, cool.
He is the lesser. He is the lesser of two evils. But what it is like, he's a guy who's capable of feeling empathy for people, and he's a guy who's going to assemble a team of smart people to get shit done.
Okay.
The other guy is just so, I mean, he's like almost really inhuman. And there's an article that came out today where they were like, I think last year or 2018, they were in Paris and they were like, hey, there's a graveyard over here where a bunch of US troops died during World War I. They're going to have this ceremony. And he was like, why would we go do that? Those guys are all losers and suckers. I mean, and there's this article that came out in the Atlantic. Yeah. And there's people around him that were like, well, sir, you know, some people just want to go serve their country. And he's just like, there's no money in it. You know, like, you're a sucker to go in the army and die for nothing. And
man. I know some people. Hey, real quick, quick interjection. I know a lot of people in the army who say that.
Well, dude,
you know, like I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I did the army, and I definitely agree with that statement.
Well,
I wish I didn't do it.
half the army are poor people. They're just trying to get out of
that's what I'm saying. They're like, I was
I'm
just in a shitty situation. And
college money.
Yeah.
Dude, and honestly, if you don't get kicked out for anything, dude, you have a leg up on a lot of people. You can go, first of all, you can just go become a cop anywhere you want.
Dude. I'm saying, what I'm saying is I know firsthand people who I'm not even saying I beg to differ. I'm just saying I personally couldn't do it. But I know firsthand people who are like, no, just don't do it for sure. They're like, and I'm like, yeah, but I could do it. Like, it's like a 3-year thing you say. They're like, no, dude, don't fucking do it. Don't get it.
Depends, man.
My buddies always say, don't get that Charger. That's what they all say when they're in the army. They're like, don't get that Charger. You don't want that Charger.
Dude.
Because the Charger is just a car that you just get, you know, for being in the army.
Well, you know, if you're an officer, if you test out to be an officer, they take care of you on another level than if you're not. And they've changed the rules that you can't make money like you used to. Like my grandpa, when he retired, he was a major in the Pentagon. So he got Pentagon pension and Army pension. They cut that off. So you can't do that anymore. So now they're saying
we'll give you less money for your whole life, and if you kill people for us.
Yeah, he was in World War II.
Yeah, it was like kill a lot of people
for Korea,
and we're gonna give you a pay cut next year.
No, overall you're gonna make less because you can't get 2 pensions. You used to be able to collect like Pentagon and whatever branch you're served. But so yeah, man. I mean, I think I just really think.
So would you ever do the? Why did you never do the army? Just because you already.
I had the Marines call me because my track times in high school. I ran the mile.
The queer guys called and had an eye for me.
Dude, I was like, "Why are you calling me?" And they were like, "Your track times." That was fast as fuck, dude.
They were like, "Dude, this is why I love you." Dude,
I just
chilling at home, dude. I'm watching like Ed and Eddie. They hit me up.
I had just got high. Like I was just really started smoking weed my senior year, and I was stoned. I was with my friend. I was at my dad's house. The phone rang. It's like a Marine voice asking for me, and I was like, this is him. And then he was like calling from a recruitment office, and then he's trying to. And I was like, why
did the army not call you? Were they like, why did you, was this swimming times?
No,
I'm sorry, I have to,
I ran the mile in 6 minutes, 8 seconds.
My question stands. Why did the army not call you and only the Navy?
The Marines, baby.
What's the Marines is like above the Navy?
Well, they're all different. But the Marines do. The Marines are probably the toughest boot camp.
I swear to God, everybody says that. I swear to God, Air Force people say they have the toughest boot camp. They're like, but we got a lot of differences in our thing. You know?
I mean, the Navy has the SEALs, and the Navy SEALs is probably the most intense. You know, and then the Army has the Army Rangers. Each has their own shit. But dude, my dumbest friend from high school. Went to the Army, did 2 tours in Iraq, and dude, they've taken care of this dude, and if not for them, who knows where he'd be if not dead.
Dude, I don't want to give away his identity too close, but I think he was in that group of people who killed a high-profile person, you know, in the last 10 years. And somebody that made the news and was brown, and he is just a cop now. He's just chill. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't look poor, but he's just a cop. I don't know. It just feels like he's the type of guy who grips your hand real tight, man. I'm good. Like, you know what? Why you want to grip hands so tight? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's an army. I think the military thing is like a firm handshake.
Yeah, what's up? Why are they doing it? Why? Why are you gripping on them hands? Why you want to feel that? Why? So you can feel if they, I'm gonna squeeze the enemy like this. I would squeeze them this hard. I think he's just like, get over here, give me that, get over here, give me that, and you're just jerking back and forth, you guys.
Dude, you ever have a horrible, wet, limp handshake? You come in for a handshake.
Oh, it feels good. Horrible. I like it because you know why? Because I can find a little gushy part where I can hook on. I'm just like, let's just hook on. It's cool. Just shake you up a little bit. Now get out, and I'm right out. It's like no commitment. Give me that gushy, and you're out. You know, you gotta find the gushy though. But I get you. If you try to latch on, you're not gonna get a good latch. But if you
you want a good handshake, and somebody gives you like a limp hand and it's clammy. It's just like, oh.
I've been trying for at least an hour now to get you to talk about who in this city. Tell them now, who are you hunting to fight in the streets for justice? Like, what justice is the next justice to be served? I know you're out here being the Punisher. You show your
Adam
face.
Carolla. If I see Adam Carolla,
there we go.
I'm gonna get my phone out and say World Star, and I'm gonna.
What did Adam Carolla do?
He went on a Twitter rant the other day, just to all of us in general. How many of you pussies got played? Basically thinking like Corona's not real and all this shit. Dude went on a rant, and then people are like, "Fuck you." So I actually tagged him on Instagram today, like, "Yo, fuck this dude. He's too old and soft to be talking like that." Slap the shit out of that dude.
You ain't got no hands, old ass bitch. Just calling him old ass bitch.
He's always been a bitch, and you know, you calling people pussies and thinking, you know, I mean, there's 185,000 families that know someone who died, and he's like, "This shit's a hoax. You're a pussy."
He looks like he walks in the strip club and says, "There's too many black girls in here." You know?
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah.
Weird.
The black.
Black.
His teeth look like butter.
Hell yeah. He's old as shit, dude. Well, there you go.
Take his glasses off, slap the shit out of him.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's what I'd be always alerted of you, because I'm like, all right, well, this person's the person that Jason's gonna fight in the streets when he sees them. He's like,
well, you know, I mean, you can't just take a swing at someone. So I really have to make someone so mad that they take a swing at me, and then, you know.
Okay.
Then
but what
I'd be
about
like,
that?
"Oh, y'all saw that?"
There was some kid on your Instagram whose girlfriend was following. You don't want to talk about him, do you? His like girlfriend was defending him. He was like doing bad things.
Up in Portland. He's a rapist.
He's like, "Don't come in LA." Yeah, you're like, "Don't come to LA."
Well, I kind of chased him out of town, and I found out he went to Portland, and his girlfriend's getting all this work, doing all this artwork.
Don't say their name. I got a huge platform. Like, dude, a lot of people tune in. Don't say it, please. For real.
I won't say his artist name, but what I should say is his first real name.
Oh yeah, that's good to like raise awareness.
Frankie. He's short, and his art is burgers that are cartoon burgers that are smoking cigarettes and shit over and over. Guy's a real sick fuck, and I learned of a girl he raped here, so I was going to beat his ass for that. And then I learned about his little juvenile case when he was 17. He raped his 9-year-old foster sister. So that's when, you might have saw last year, I put his court papers online, like, here he is. And then he was on the sexual registry for only 5 years.
That is so fucked up, sir.
So I would make a law that if you're ever on that, you should be on it forever. And then I had people in Portland being like, "Yeah, this sick fuck was always like, oh, you have such cute kids. I want to hold your kids." And something was like, something's a little bit off.
Where did he see kids? Everywhere I've seen you, I've been asking people for cigarettes. Why is people bringing their kids there?
Well, there's a lot of
Cleaner. Yeah, there is a lot of good galleries with nice people.
No, I mean, up in Portland, there's a lot of young people that have kids for for pets even, and then they're out and about and they see some art.
Yeah,
and
that's not
and
fair. That's not fair. If you make something, you love it. You can't have a kid for a pet. I'm not letting that fly.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah, but it's not true, bro. If you make something, you love it. It's a part of you. That's like saying I grew my fingernails for pets. They're still connected. Like it's
okay. So when you see, so I see this a lot. When you see somebody in their 20s with a kid or in their 30s, and they're fucking around on their phone, totally ignoring the kid.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
I mean,
is that worse than a person who literally has their kid on Instagram every day doing every challenge with them? Which one's worse?
Oh, the one ignoring their kid, because at least the kid doing stuff to their mom on Instagram, they're doing something together. Now that kid might come up with this weird sense of entitlement.
He'll probably come up with the sense that he has to impress other people to be valid in himself. I would say. Sure,
but yeah, I mean, seeing a kid just like trying to talk to their mom, and then their mom's on the phone, and it's like this little kid's just wants to like talk to their mom to like get his speech shit going and like talk about stuff, and he just wants to ask questions, and it's just like, hold on, I'm fucking around on my phone. Like, well, that's who knows what that's.
How's that a pet though? Because what you're not seeing is that person walk that person kid. Like
because that's how you treat a pet. When you walk a dog, you're looking at your phone. That dog isn't saying anything to you. I mean,
that's not true. When I walk a dog, I'm not necessarily looking on my phone. Honestly,
a lot of people do, or they smoke a cigarette, or they're doing some other thing.
You're trying to bring cigarettes.
I don't know, man.
Cigarettes didn't do anything to you.
Well, I think cigarettes suck. My dad smokes cigarettes.
Don't bring cigarettes. Keep this to the chomos and the bad people. Don't bring this into cigarettes.
I think people definitely have kids as a pet, or because they're lonely and they want to like have something.
Yeah, but dude, those are two different things. I just told you I would like to have a kid just because I'm lonely, but just because it's like you've learned a lot, you're lonely, you're ready to talk to somebody, you're ready to like pass it on. I might die. I don't know, fucking any day, man, any day. I'm good. Like you want to make the next thing. You want to see how you can impact what's going, forward. That's it, period. Like, I hate to say it, but even the dumbest person gets those like ideas. Like even the dumbest people have kids, like, and they're like, oh, I love that kid because it's like a part of me and stuff. Those simple ideas. Like those are not.
Hey, any kid who has a parent that, loves him, that's great.
I mean, because that's all you can ask for. Like,
I mean, honestly, like if anytime, me personally, when I see people fucking around on their phones, ignoring a young kid, I think that's fucked. I'm sure that kid's going to remember that shit forever, and you're just fucking around on your phone, and that kid's like, I'm trying to talk to you, but you're not. Okay.
Yeah, you might have called it. Yeah, but you might have called it.
That's in public. You think that shit doesn't happen when we don't see, like.
Oh, I know. Honestly, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but honestly, I know.
At least with old people, they're like, attention was on you, and they're like, so, listen, how was your day? I think it's better to have a parent who asks how your day was than, hey, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm gonna fuck around on my phone.
Well,
because I had a strict. When my parents got divorced, I had this horrible bitch of a mom. It was really, really strict. And then my dad.
What, like a stepmom?
No, my mom. My mom.
Yeah,
my mom was terrible. And then my dad was like, I want to be a hippie again and just be cool. And I was like, oh, I want to go live with my dad. And, he didn't. He was like, do whatever you want. And I don't
exactly.
Think
how do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because do you feel like you're a good person? Like,
I'm a good person despite any input from either one of my parents, honestly. My dad was a little bit of a deadbeat dad. Wasn't really around when I was a kid. Nice, he's a nice guy, and I talk to him a lot now. Because he could die any day. He's got a pacemaker. His dumbass, when I drove him home from his pacemaker surgery, we get out of the hospital, drive down the ramp, get on the highway, lights up a cigarette. It's like, damn, dude.
I mean, the thing is, man, you're gonna go. Yeah, you're gonna go anyway. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
well, do you want to go?
There's no
do you want
reason
to
to
carry
go.
around an oxygen tank the last year?
No, but he's already got one. So
no, he doesn't.
Oh,
he
okay.
doesn't yet.
That sucks. Then. Yeah, that sucks.
He's on his way.
So what I guess I was saying, is there a way to U-turn at whatever age? It's like we're already.
Always, dude. There's all these stories about especially on YouTube. You could just look up some story about some inspirational thing about some guy who started working out every day, lost all this weight. I saw this one thing where this guy had this crutches kind of walker thing. Mm-hmm. He had fucked up his spine or legs in the army. He was a paratrooper, and then he was started doing yoga every day, and then, dude, at the end of the video, he's dropped 75 pounds maybe, and he can run. He doesn't need those. Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, you see him doing yoga.
He doesn't lose 75 pounds in 5 minutes.
I mean, but 8 months or something like that, 9 months.
Oh, okay.
This dude just basically every day was working on yoga, changed his diet, and then at the end he starts running.
The whole time. Jesus.
What's that?
I had a huge piece of lint in my beard the whole time. All right, sorry.
Glad you got it. It's driving me nuts.
No, the thing is,
I didn't see it. It's never too late. If you have, some thing you want to do, you can totally just, with discipline, make yourself do it.
Yeah, my mom says I should go to AA. I'm just kidding. Listen, who else is on the list? Anybody? On site. Jason knows this person doing bad stuff. So you gonna get him?
There's someone that I don't like that I plan on being a dick to, and I don't. I was at one time friends with him, so I don't envision myself beating his ass because I totally could.
That brings me to my
next point. This guy really talked a lot of shit about beating me in a basketball game, and he's 5'9".
Look, this brings me to my next point.
Maybe 40 pounds lighter than me, and he used to just be "Oh, I'm gonna break your ankles. I'm gonna do all these basketball moves." I was like, "Dude, let's put it on YouTube. Let's put money on it." And we never got to do it. And I actually had an art show at his gallery.
So wait, you don't have any? He didn't actually do anything. You didn't actually do.
He talked shit for 2 or 3 months, and I was like, "Let's do it. Let's get a whole production together." And I was gonna have an art show at his gallery. It's called Think Tank Gallery, or it's not even around anymore. And I think you've been there before.
Why are you advertising that? Yeah, you advertise. Oh, it's not even around anymore. Bye.
Yeah. Well, so he had. Did you go to that Pizza Boys show?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Probably.
he had the Pizza Boys show.
Pretending.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
Where
you walked through some different rooms, there was art, and then you went out back.
I think I saw you out back that night.
Yeah. So basically, I was going to have a show there, and I saw how horribly he ran that show and how he mistreated all my friends. And I was telling everyone I'm gonna cancel my show, and they're like, just wait till the show's over. And then I found out the guy ran the gallery, and the ground was stealing money from my friend, just treating people like shit. And I was like, okay, that dude, even though I would go to help his gallery get ready for shows, and I was friends with this guy just never called me. He just ghosted me. He was never hey man, no text, no call. He was not hey man, I ran the gallery in the ground, there's no show, so sorry about that. Just Nothing.
Just like did he leave town?
No, he's still here. And that building, they signed a lease on this building, so they do like private events there every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, I mean, so when I see that guy, I'm going to just clown him and just, really clown this dude. But I'm not gonna like slap shit out of him or anything like that. I'm not a bully.
That's my next point. My next point is, can you make sure that I'm never on? I want to make sure this is public, because I've asked you this in private too. But can you make sure I'm never on that list? I mean, like,
yeah.
I want to, no matter what I do, I'm able to be talked to. Like, I can, we can talk. Like, I would love to talk about something, like, because maybe you have it misinterpreted. Like, hey, man, Jamal was like working with the aliens to sell out the government. Oh, I'm going to beat his ass. Dude, I know he was doing that. No, you don't. Call me. See if I was working with the aliens. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't just be like, dude. Oh, yeah, dude, that definitely happened, dude. It was right here on the internet, dude. Somebody said it happened.
No, I'm
like,
very,
hey, guess
I'm
what?
very,
I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm very, like, as you know, man, I say what I'm thinking, I would always, no, I'm outside about to smoke some weed.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like that toilet was flush. It was like, that was nice, but it was the door opening. Man.
I'm always like, I would never like treat you differently based on something somebody said about you. I'd be like, hey man, this person said this about you.
Yeah, what's the root of, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm as an old man, I grew up in a time where you had to tell people shit to their face. You were not texting and emailing your thoughts, dude. You had to do it to people's face.
I'm from that era.
Yeah, well, a lot of people know, man.
Yeah, I'm from the era where it's like, basically, I'm from like, we grew up and then cell phones came out when I was like at the end of middle school. But it was like we didn't get one until we were like rich kids had them at middle school, but then like we all got them in like high school kind of. So it was basically like you could text shit, but like we didn't know, we didn't have group chats or anything, or like no social media or anything. So it was kind of like,
social media.
You could text shit. Yeah, you could text shit, but then that shit, you'd have to say that shit in the lunchroom later. You'd have to say that shit to everybody because like somebody else is gonna pull up that you said it. They know you said it. So what's up? I said it. I said fuck that person. They eat their own boogers all day in class, and you had to like kind of be ready to say that to everybody. You couldn't just say it like behind Twitter. You couldn't just be like, "Well, he eats his boogers." I know he does. You have to.
That's true, but I mean, there are people that talk real spicy. That's an internet show I would like to see. Remember, I think there was like Bully Beatdown or something on MTV, where they would have like some
That's your dream show.
Kid. No, I think their dream show would be like just horrible people online who just have like some guys like fuck BLM. They're a bunch of N-word terrorists, and then you just bring like some badass dude knocks on the door like, "What's up? You want to handle it?" And it's like, "Oh no, man, well, you can apologize for that." And then it's like, "Oh man, I was just talking." And then he got punked out, and then that's that. And then somebody else was like, just saying hateful shit about whatever group, and then bring somebody, bring somebody's talking racist shit about Asians, bring a hot Asian lady to his door to be like, "What's wrong with you?" And have him like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." Just have people
I like that shit.
held accountable for shit they say online. Right to their house. Like, are you Michael? And they're like, "Oh, excuse me." Have cars that already staked them out and everything, man. Just
poor Michael.
And then just maybe, I was gonna say maybe the show pays a lot, and that's why people are signing that waiver. Or maybe you just blur out their face and you change their name.
I think you can get that waiver for $300, man. I really do. I think you can get it out of almost anybody for $300, man.
$300.
$300. Yeah, these people aren't like a person who's that pathetic and shit is not. They're not. I don't know how.
I'll tell you, man, when I see people say horrible shit online, usually 98% of the time they have a private profile. And the times that they don't, they have like really unimpressive lives, man. And it's like, oh man, it sucks. Your life sucks, and you're mad about some dumb bullshit online.
Yeah, man, you live in LA where we all make stuff. Like everybody in LA makes something. If you like other people, they just judge things. They just sit around. They're like, oh yeah, what did you make for me now? Oh yeah, is that good enough? I don't know. It's not good enough. It's good. And that's good. I like that one. I don't like that one. You're like, all right, thanks, asshole. Just go back to making nothing.
I love also hearing like, you know, whatever, you live in your mom's basement, you make art. It's like, I don't live in my mom's basement.
Yeah.
And or like your art sucks. Like,
I live in the biggest city in the world.
Man. I get to have fun doing something I like, and it pays the bills. Like, you know.
Dude, we live in not even the biggest city in the world. We live in the best city in the world, honestly.
Best city in the
if you don't think
best city in the country.
If you don't think so, please leave. Yeah, like just go to the best city, wherever it is.
Maybe this pandemic is gonna like
clear out. Yes, it has totally, dude. My whole timeline is people, and they're like, I'm in Dakota, you know, at parents' house. Oh, I'm in Mississippi, back home with the mom. It's good to be home. Love you, mom.
That's what it is.
35.
People are moving back home because they didn't have enough money to stay here and pay bills.
No, it's not money, dude. It's resilience. Like, dude, I've lived here. I've lived in this city with like very little money. Like, basically, you get you a little shitty place. You live in a shittier place. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, they don't want to live in a place where it's not like, you know,
right,
fancy or something, where it's not like indoor things. They don't want to like see the bums and stuff. So it's like, okay, well, go, dude, go see fresh wilderness and stuff. Like, you know, your parents are waiting for you. You know, like.
But also, I mean, if you're, I don't know, man. Like, if you're like, you moved out of your parents' house. All right, really quick. Out of your parents' house, you're an adult, and if for something happens, you're like, I have to move back home now. I mean, you could rationalize, unless you're taking care of them because they're old, you have failed as an adult financially. If at some point you got to be like, okay, if I go back home, I save X amount of dollars, but would I pay X amount per week to not have mom and dad in the next room? And I could do all this shit and still be in, and it's priceless being in LA. Even when shit gets boarded up, it gets boarded up, and then the front door is still open, and you can still go in the store. It's like, it's just going to weather this storm.
It's like there's too much. It's kind of like, it's like there's too much. Like I said, dude, LA provides too much of, like, we create too much. I can't keep saying that enough, but it's like when there needs to be new shit filmed and shit, when there needs to be new shit, everything, like, you know, like fucking everything. I'm talking all the way down to, like, skate videos and shit. It's like, dude, everything comes out of LA.
Stand-up comedy. I mean, I guess, you know, this Comedy Store now has the parking lot. You go out in the parking lot and do it. But, like, bars and like, restaurants, man, it's going to be sad how many small business restaurants closed that were really awesome, dude.
I think so. But I also think that it'll just there'll be a new wave. You know, like, just like anything else, there's just going to be a new, better wave really soon. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there'll be a new wave. Who knows if it's better or not?
It's always better. Like, it's never. I mean, it's just like, it's like. Everybody thinks something's not better. It's like a car. It's like, yes, a classic car was made out of better material, but that material is never going to biodegrade. It's like a piece of, like, waste more, I guess, you know?
Well, so older cars also don't have power steering.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
A lot of other things.
Exactly. So it's better in certain ways, but it's not real. But now it's actually better. Like, our worst car is better than the best car made in 1950, unfortunately. Even though I would rather,
it's aesthetically, like, you could look at something from the 50s or 60s, and if it's
even though I would rather have a car from the 50s.
Fucking car.
Yeah, I would rather have a car from the 50s.
I mean, but when you drive those cars, it's like, it's not fun. It's not a fun time.
So
And the
that's
glass,
exactly-
when it breaks, it's gonna have shards. It's not like that safety glass.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna be
like
fucked.
it's gonna be like it's gonna be so loud when you're inside it. My friend had
Punch you in the gut and you're dead.
My friend had the 64 and a half Mustang, like the first year they did it. And man, from the outside it looks great, but then you get in it and you're like, oh, even though it's nice.
Yeah, I had a
And
friend who had the.
it's
the,
like
I think,
it's not
68.
nice. It's not. People just accepted that cars were not going to be comfortable. They're going to be loud. You just sat low in it, and you were like, everything's kind of.
I don't know. I like 60s cars, though. I'm not really going to let you go in on 60s cars. They had power
I don't
steering.
know.
Man. They had good power steering.
Actually, a lot of
Not
them
good.
don't.
Yeah, a lot of them. Damn it.
Yeah,
very,
dude.
I
I mean,
could very well
when
be
you
wrong.
drive those cars, it's almost like you're fighting it on the turns. The anti-lock brakes.
I was saying this about 50s
brakes
cars.
are
I want to make
terrible.
this very clear. 50s cars, I agree with this, but we'll have to do more research in the late 60s cars.
Yeah, I mean, I think it wasn't until 67 or 68 that they started putting in seatbelts.
Hell yeah.
So if you have something like before that, you can be seatbelt exempt.
That's awesome.
But if you're riding in a car with no seatbelts, man, you're just
Yeah,
like,
and it's
I hope
made
we don't
out of,
get in a wreck.
It's made out of like 1964 grade steel, which is like really strong if you get in a wreck, buddy.
Yeah, you'll be able to
be a lot
plow
of
through
glass.
some shit.
Yeah,
But you'll be flying around in the car, popping your kneecaps open on the dashboard and shit.
No, that's the worst. That's so bad. At least I'm not freaking getting crushed into a tin can.
Well, yeah, I mean the cheapest car nowadays is probably way safer.
Yeah.
There's going to be like ergonomically, it's going to be like pleasing to sit in it and to reach everything. It's going to probably sync up to your phone. Like everything from now on, it's just going to be like you could talk to it. It knows about your phone. It knows your settings on the seat.
Oh, because fucking Teslas definitely do. Like Teslas are like iPhones. So it's like, damn.
I feel like that's like a niche thing. But like the cheapest Camry or something, like Corolla, I think it's the cheap one. It's going to have little features in it that they're trying to entice people with because they're like remember those cameras in your car when you were backing up?
Yeah, they still have
see behind you. Well, my friend got a car when he first got it. Oh man, I feel like this was 2008 maybe. He was showing it to me, and I was like, "That's pretty cool." And he's like, "That's $3,500 just to keep that in the car. I'd probably get it without that." And I was like, "Damn." Now that's just free in like most new cars.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like cars are going to just evolve to be like more user friendly, and that's cool.
That's very true.
With your phone, you can drive all over the country and not get lost. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's really true.
Old people always want to take maps out and look at. You're looking at this map. You think that's who knows? Like shit changes. You could be looking at some map from the 80s or 90s and like, no.
It's crazy, dude. Nowadays we've never had this amount of like mapping.
When I first visited California, it was like 2005, and I remember just being like, and GPS were kind of new back then. There's like a huge thing you had to put in your car, and it was very like a shitty graphics, and you had to stop what you're doing and listen to it.
What was it called? TomTom. No?
Yeah.
Was it like a
something like
TomTom?
that.
Yeah.
But it was just, I remember just being like, man, with all the hills and shit in California, like hard to know what direction you're going. And if you don't know landmarks of buildings and shit, I was like, man, I could see getting lost. And then
if you lose internet back then, like I don't see how you would even get internet like everywhere.
And then I visited a year before I moved here, and it was like just Ubering around. It was so easy. I was like, oh.
Well, yeah, LA is a place that's hard to get lost here.
Yeah, once you know where you are, and you're like, oh, that city's over there, or this street's really long, so when it connects with that. It's just knowing, like, when I moved to Chicago, they'd be like, oh, Andersonville, and I'd be like, is that a small town? It's like, no, that's an area on the north side of Chicago where Clark Street meets,
Be like, oh, thanks.
one of those. I forgot one of those. But it's like, oh, okay. Once you learn where the cross street is, and you know where those streets are, and you know the nickname for that neighborhood, it's like, okay, done.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
So, yeah, man.
It's pretty much all I wanted to talk about.
I'm gonna play some Warzone tonight with my regiment.
What do you promote that, please? This on this super huge platform.
Twitch.tv/homelesscop.
Yeah, you
Tonight
be
at
shooting them
10.
niggas.
Usually every night at 10, I play with my regiment, and I just went over 2,000 kills last night. So I feel.
What do you mean?
about
Like you
that.
killed 2,000 people in amount of time? Like the whole amount of time you ever had the game?
Yeah, basically. So I think we're in season 5 now. I jumped in season 2.5, kind of.
Okay.
So
2.5 seasons, 2,000 kills.
In the plunder, mostly the plunder mode, and I think I've collected like $330-something million.
What the hell is plunder?
Well, you run around.
You just kill people?
So you jump out of the plane with your gun and your setup.
Oh, yeah, that's what I do.
And you pick up cash, and your team basically wants to get to $1 million, $1.5 million, whatever. And then you win first place if you have more than all the other teams. And then if you get killed, you drop back in with your gun and your shit. And the Battle Royale version is like there's poison gas closing, and then you land with a pistol and you're trying to pick up a gun, get money to buy shit, and then they drop you your gun.
How long does it take to kill a person? Like fucking 15 minutes? How long does it take to kill you one person?
Well, it depends. Like you drop somewhere where people are.
Yeah, you can't drop somewhere where people are and live.
Well, it depends. Now, if you're in plunder mode, you're dropping with your assault rifle. You're ready to go. You drop in with a pistol, and some other people pick up a better gun, and you're running around with a pistol. So it's like 2 different game modes.
Yeah, for me, I know that all the good guns are over here, and all the people are over here. So if I go fly and get the guns, it's going to take me a long time to go over there, and then they're going to kill each other, and then I'm just looking for people, and then they just kill me before I find anybody.
Yeah, with the Battle Royale, like when there's like poison gas, I like to land outside the circle, get some loot, and then try to ride the edge of the circle all the way in instead of going in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
But I've only played the Battle Royale maybe 20, 30 times, and I've gotten inside top 5, top 10, but haven't been able to win. And but with plunder, man, we have my regiment. We have 23 wins. So doing pretty good.
Well, fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. And also, you make artwork like that shit behind you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold this up.
He been making artwork. He's a great artiste.
So I just finished Sakura painting.
We can't see shit, boy. Can't see shit, boy. We've never seen it. I want to see it. We can't see it at all. Can't see a thing.
Look at that.
Can't see a thing. Put it like in front of your belly, and then we're not gonna be able to see it, man. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's beautiful. Hell yeah.
Just finished this bad boy.
This is the art that Jason makes here. He also makes the art behind himself. He's worked for huge companies, and he also has sold all around the country. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys, everybody, and thank you for coming here, and thank everybody for being a part of listening to and hearing us while we were talking with the Cute Dog Locked in Hot Car podcast. And thank everybody, and love you.
Key Sounds Beats made this shit. Bird bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. Bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. Bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. Bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much, and them hoes frown. Why the fuck you came, ho, you acting all down? Lose too much, being knocked down. I fall back, I'ma smoke my pound. Lose too much, bruise too much. Ooh, he tough, been fucked up. Ooh, he scruff, he look rough. Ooh, he up, he still up. No, you can't roll with us. I guess it's cause you roll with lame dudes too much. No, you can't roll with us. I guess it's cause you roll with lame dudes too much. Bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. Bruise too much, lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much.